2 of 12 days of live healing here on my page and in my group. So I've shared in my Wealthy Healers group. Hi, Deirdre. So let me ask you a question. Did you see this on my page or did you see this in my group? Because I'm trying to share it. Tried to share it in my group and I am not sure that it's shared. Hi, Gita. Well, I'm just going to roll with it, see what happens. Hi, Shantae. How are you? All right, well, let's get started. It's today we're going to be just working with feeling safe, i.e. feeling protected, especially if you're an empath. Okay, thank you for that. So you can see it in my group. Yay! Because I think I went live on my page, but I don't know, right? Get so confused. And happy Friday, everybody, because I think all the Australians are probably sleeping. So, but happy Saturday when you Aussies wake up. Okay. All righty. Well, let's, again, your time is valuable. I'll stop babbling about time zones. And I'm going to do, like I said yesterday, we're going to work with protection energy in the form of, first of all, we're going to do some empowered energetics and clear those energies that trigger you not feeling safe, that trigger you needing protection, especially if you're an empath. So, hey everybody. All right, so who listening? Woohoo! Sound like an owl. Who's an empath? Go ahead and put it in the chat, y'all. Who is an empath? And if you are an empath is just somebody who feels other energies, is very sensitive to other energies. So if you're an empath, and if you are an empath, how sometimes how, what's the word I'm looking for? I'll just use safety. How unsafe do you feel like in highly charged situations? How unsafe do you feel when you're with family that you may not want to be in? How unsafe do you feel when you're in big crowds? How unsafe do you feel when you drive by an accident, right? So go ahead and, hey, Emily, how are you? So again, how unsafe do you feel? Empath in denial. Yeah, Kelly, yeah, all that denial crap. It's not going to work, so stop it. Well, and sometimes we don't even realize we're an empath until, we realize, right? And how many of you are sensitive to earth shifts and changes? Like you're really in tune to, for example, we had a storm coming and my whole, most people probably would have gone to the dentist, but I knew it was just reaction to the pressure changes. My whole jaw was hurting. It's gone today. So again, on a scale, and this is to help you as I take you through the healing. How much are you triggered by other people on a scale from 0 to 10? How often do you feel unsafe? If somebody else is angry, can you start, picking up on it? How safe or unsafe? I'm wanting you to say unsafe. How unsafe do you feel when you're out and about in the world doing your thing? Okay, so go ahead and either jot that down or write it for me in the comments. I call it the chat, the comments, whatever. And it'll just help your mind be on board as we start going through these clearings. Now, if you're a healer, most likely you've been taught to always wrap yourself in a protective blanket or a protective bubble. Okay, wrap yourself in white light or send white light out for protection. And that's good. That is good. However, if you're always wrapping yourself in white light, if you're always putting on cloaks of protection, if you're, if you feel like everywhere in the safe, everywhere in the universe is unsafe, if you feel like you're a starseed and the grays are about to get you, you're coming from this vibration of unsafety. You're coming from this vibration of, I need protection. Okay, I always am trying to put energetic protection. Okay, Shantae, yeah, you don't want to be feeling unsafe. What you want is you want to shift into knowing you're safe because you're a sovereign being. Okay, and that's a mind program, and I feel there's a lot in the energy world that promotes it. You're unsafe. Things are attacking you. People are sending you this, and there may be truth to that. But once you stabilize in your vibration, once you stabilize in your frequency, you're going to realize that there's nothing to be afraid of because I'm a sovereign being. Okay, and that's my work that I share with people. That you're a sovereign being. And you don't need to feel unsafe, and you've got to, and I'm here to help you take that journey. And there's times when, believe me, I get knocked on my butt too. All right. So, hold on, I'm yawning. So I'm going to run through an empowered energetic session. Have your number, how unsafe you feel. Like Shantae, you said you feel super unsafe. Well, how unsafe do you feel on a scale from 0 to 10? A couple of you others, help me out and just put your numbers in the chat. You guys know how I operate. I need that feedback. My mind needs that feedback. Well, howdy, Sarah. Okay. I'm going to sit here and wait a minute. Wait for my comments to come through. Hi, Tanya. Okay, good. Thank you, Shantae. Thank you. All right, Shantae feels it at an 8. I'm going to ask you guys one more question before I hop into the healing. Would you rather feel unsafe or fierce? And I mean fierce in a good way, right? Fierce in a good way. Would you rather feel unsafe or fierce? Go ahead and type that in the chat. Yeah, and we're really. So here's the tricky thing, Kelly. Yeah, physically, we're pretty physically safe these days, right? For the most part, unless you live with somebody that's abusive or you run into somebody that's abusive. But if you have that emotional unsafe feeling and you're projecting a feeling of unsafety out into the world, there's a chance that you could create a physical reality that mirrors that unsafe emotional feeling. So that's why all of us want to stabilize. And then as we feel more and more emotionally stable, then other people around us who are not as conscious, who are not consciously working on ourselves, we can help them lift up in vibration too. Okay, yeah, of course you guys want to feel fierce, right? I mean, it's a silly question, but yeah, you want to be fierce, right? And do you see, like Wonder Woman's fierce, and do you see her walking around? Okay, do you see, I'm getting goosebumps, but do you see Wonder Woman walking around in a cloak of protection? No. Okay, so that's what I want you guys to experience. And imagine how much better your lives are going to be when you're feeling fierce. Hell yeah, right? Yeah, and you don't want to be afraid of creating that reality either, because that fear will trigger it. So, all right, let's delete those unsafe feelings and patterns, okay? So again, whatever fierce image, it could be an animal, like I always like mama bear, right? Like mama bear protecting her cubs, that fierceness. I'm protecting my reality, I'm protecting me, I'm protecting my family, right? Or Wonder Woman, I'm not really into the superhero thing, but I did like the new Wonder Woman movie. Tawanda, if you watched Fried Green Tomatoes, right? You know, Gersh, I don't teach that if you have something that there's one cause. So I have no idea if tinnitus is feeling unsafe. I would separate right now for this. I would just say, when do I feel unsafe? The mind always likes to link cause and effect. And, you know, I believe there's multiple causes that usually result in a physical issue. And then, so I would go at it two ways. I would just be present right now to letting go of the unsafe feelings for the purpose of this healing. And then I would work with, deleting, I'm using my language. I would work on deleting the reasons, causes, and sources of your tinnitus. Okay. All righty. So let's, what about mental energy that can affect from a distance? Well, everything affects from a distance, right, Diane? So when you are safe, when you're, okay, so watch my hands. I'm trying to get them even here. We're all frequency, right? So if you're up here, right, this is you, and you're in a high frequency, you're feeling fierce, okay? Lower vibrating mental energy can't connect with you. See that? You're imperturbable to it. Can't, because all frequency resonates. Okay? So that's just the easy, like a really, really like kindergarten simple explanation. But if you're afraid of that mental, like if you're afraid of like people having negative thoughts about you, or you're sending out negative thoughts, or you're afraid of psychic attacks. I know a lot of people are afraid of psychic attacks. If you're thinking about somebody giving you psychic attacks, guess what? You're in that receiving mode of it. So the work is to get yourself up there. Or if somebody is sending you, psychic attacks, it doesn't even connect. Does that make sense? And everything can happen at a distance, y'all. Everything. Our bodies, when we're in physical proximity of each other, but the whole butterfly effect, a butterfly flaps its wings in Taiwan, and we can have an earthquake here in the United States. You can still make your frequency high. Your work can be to make your frequency high so it doesn't affect you. And it's hard. I'm not saying it's easy. It's not easy, especially if you live with someone or it's family or a spouse. But you can do it. It's just going to take a bit. Does that make sense? And so you can get to the point where you can engage with someone and remain at a high stable frequency, and eventually they're going to have to rise up, or you guys are going to not. I love Abraham, I think it's Abraham Hicks in The Secret talks about that. They'll zig when you zag. Okay, because and there's so many frequencies, there's so many energies, there's so much that goes on. So the more you clear, the more programming you clear, then the more aware you are of what's absolutely affecting your frequency and your vibration in your life. Then pray. And if it's a constant, then pray. And I'm going to ask you a hard question. If it's at a constant, why are you subjecting yourself to that? Okay. Okay, Kelly, with random people, I try to think what someone else thinks of me is none of my business. It's hard. You guys were hardwired to have approval from people. We're hardwired because when humans were first creating humanity, if the tribe didn't approve of you, you were gone. You were dead. So, same thing. Doesn't matter if they're in authority. Honestly, it's harder if they're in authority But you can be more you can be more vibrationally strong than someone in authority. You can actually be in authority. And again, you know, and it sounds like you're in a difficult situation, Diane. So do what you can to just release some of those mind stuff. And I'm going to suggest if you can maybe get some help, some one-on-one help with someone to help you with this. Okay. Hi, Jessica. All righty. I'm going to stop talking. And I'm going to run through some empowered energetics. So I'm just going to guide you through it. If you can, close your eyes and listen. Oh, dang it. I always forget. You're going to hear me better now because I have these plugged in. Okay. I bet you can hear me better now. Okay. So everybody, I'm strengthening, and I'm going to use a technique I call empowered energetics. So I'm strengthening everybody's manifestation center. And if you see me moving my hands, it's just something I do when I do healing. So anyway, now I am going to delete all the feelings of being unsafe. Okay. And actually deleting feelings of disempowerment and fear. Deleting all the feelings of fear as well. And just feel as I'm deleting these emotions, know that, emotions are it's the frequency this is how I think of it. Emotions are the frequency. Lower frequencies are your fear. Actually anger is a higher frequency. Okay. So that's the emotion, that's the actual frequency, and feelings are how we experience it in our body. Because if you didn't have a body, you wouldn't have feelings, right? So we have an emotional body, emotions, and then we have a physical body, which is our feelings. So you might just want to notice where you're feeling these feelings as I'm deleting them. And when I say I'm deleting them, I'm not deleting the feelings, I'm deleting the reasons why you're holding on to them. Because if, we've been taught to stuff our emotions. All right, don't cry. Or what are you, a baby? All that stuff when we were growing up for most of us. I don't know what it's like today, but I know for me. So when I say delete, I'm just deleting the reasons, causes, and sources why you're holding on to them and why they're trapped in your physical body. Now we're going to move on, and we're going to delete all the mental programming, all the beliefs, the conscious beliefs and the unconscious beliefs that tell you you're not safe, that tells you you need that cloak of protection, that tells you that, even if somebody has power and authority over you, that I'm deleting the belief that anyone has power and authority over you, because that's an illusion. Okay, that's an illusion. Because no matter what happens, you can always be in your own authority, and you can always be in your own power, even if you're in prison. Okay. Nelson Mandela, Viktor Frankl, those magnificent beings who lived through horrors and came out of it, share their stories that no matter what happened to them, what happened around them, they remain strong, center, and safe within themselves. And so can you. Okay, just take some work. So now I'm going to delete all the evidence that you're not safe. Okay, like if you've ever dealt with, this is going to be a hard one, but if you've ever dealt with physical or emotional or sexual abuse as a child, as a young adult, or even in your current reality, okay, deleting all the accumulative beliefs because of those experiences that you're unsafe. And just notice how you feel. As I say that, notice how your body feels. It might be feeling lighter. It actually might be feeling heavier because you become more aware of other energies. I'm deleting the belief that holiday season, because there's holiday season, so I'm anchoring everything back to that, is going to be tougher for a lot of us because we're going to be spending more time with family. We're going to be out and about more shopping, spending money, some of us. So just deleting all those beliefs that you're unsafe. Now we're going to delete all the effects of the collective consciousness, and as with ancient mind and humanity in general, we have a lot of programming, a lot of programming. I won't even get into it. So deleting all that, you again can be the sovereign being creating your own reality. So you have your own thoughts and emotions, but you're also affected by the collective consciousness of humanity because you're human. But you don't have to be affected. You don't have to be influenced. Okay, so you can delete all of that and live from your own sovereign truth. So deleting, I always say all. I'm deleting all the influence from collective consciousness / ancient mind. Especially this is coming in strong that you're less than, that other people are stronger than you, that other people are better than you. I'm deleting that influence of, this is coming up, it's never come up, it's kind of fun. Darwin's evolution, survival of the fittest. I'm deleting that. Okay, survival of the fittest. Maybe that was true when, we were hunting saber-toothed tigers. And storms could tear down our tent just like that. We'd blow away in the wind. It's not true anymore. Feel your bodies. And I'm anchoring everybody. Grounding everybody, anchoring in your body. You're safer in your body. When you're stressed, you leave your body. Okay? You hear a lot. I was in a bad horse accident, and I had that experience where my body was there and I was floating above it. I was scanning it for broken bones. So if anybody's been in a severe traumatic, like physical accident, you really do have that sensation of leaving your body and looking down. But when you're in interplay, okay, you're stronger to be in your body. You're safer in your body. You're safer grounded, yet we unground when we feel unsafe. So I'm strengthening everybody to stay grounded and create that as an energetic habit. Okay, and I'm going to take a little break and ask, how are you doing? And what thoughts and feelings are coming up as we're going through this? What thoughts, feelings, emotions, sensations are inescapable? None. Nothing's. I don't understand your question, Gersh, to be honest, but I feel like we shouldn't try to escape them. What thoughts, feelings, emotions, sensations are inescapable? None. You want to feel it all. I think that's what you're asking. Okay, and anybody have any feedback? Go ahead and type it in the chat. I'm going to move on. Notice how you're feeling. I'm feeling a lot of energy swirling around in the head. That usually is a lot of mind programs, in my opinion, that are being released. Yeah, a different approach for my job as a server, me being sovereign. Yeah, Well, that is it. Can you imagine? Okay, so I just want everyone, if you can, just imagine you're just the sovereign, happy, joyous being, imperturbable to all the hoo-ha going around you. So it's like, it's going to sound, this is going to go back to yesterday's clearing about always being joyful. So I want you to imagine always just being joyful and safe, all right, and uplifting everyone with your vibration. Can you imagine that reality? Okay. Oh my gosh. Instead of, oh, I was a server, so I'm assuming you mean food server. I was a server, so I'm very well familiar with it. What the hell do you want? Right? It's like, hi. So again, you can lift the whole planet. The whole planet can lift with your vibration. That's awesome, Shantae. Yay. There's a lot of energy swirling around. And the more aware you are, and the more you can feel, the scarier it might be for a while till you really stabilize. And I say that word stabilize a lot. Okay, kind of lighter? Kind of? Come on, Kay. I want you to be like, I'm feeling lighter and I'm fierce. Good, Jessica. I'm glad you're feeling resistance. That means there's something coming up that your mind is arguing against. So there's a familiar pattern, Jessica. There's a familiar pattern your mind doesn't want to let go of. Okay. Okay. Hi, Debbie. I separate and watch the conflict from outside perspective like a movie. Exactly, Kelly. Exactly. But you can also, all right, hold on, let me feel into this. I thought to separate and watch the conflict. Yeah, because you're just protecting, right? I can see, even notice how my body's shifting over here, right? Um, yeah, you're escaping. You don't want to be there. You don't want to experience it. But guess what? Okay, if you're in an argument, let me ask you this. Do you have to argue? Okay. I took a Tai Chi class once. And I just remember it's the only martial arts class I've ever taken, but I think martial arts, it's a lot of, I remember him like, and he did like combative Tai Chi, so a lot of people thought he was wrong. But I remember him like if people threw something at him, he just absorbed it, and let it pass, but he didn't escape it. So you don't have to be affected by those energies. Um, anyway, okay. So I'm gonna do a few more. There's 10 categories. I'm only gonna go through a couple more and then channel some um, yellow dragon energy of the Arcturian style. But before I do, this is coming up. Just be honest with yourselves. Because I feel it a lot. People don't even, and I know I live this. I'm in this reality. I know I am. Are you afraid to be too happy? Are you afraid to just let it all go? Are you afraid of being that joyful being who can be, working in a Denny's diner, have $1 million in the bank, and you're working in the diner because you know you're spreading love, joy, and happiness everywhere? Okay? Can you imagine being that person that you're so happy, you're at such a high frequency that, there's going to be some small dips, of course, but that you're just always there. Can you imagine that? My eyes itching. Um, you just want to be right, right? I like that too. I'm right. Idiots. Okay, and I'm trying to let that go. One of my biggest personality flaws is I'm a grudge holder. Oh man, am I a grudge holder? I'll hold a grudge for years. And it's not healthy. It's not, I know it. My husband tells me that all the time. You're still holding that grudge from 2 years ago. And how can you with what you teach? I'm like, I know. Anyway, can you be, see, again, immune? What do you mean by immune? Okay. Yes, you can be. You can be, Maya, Rebecca. You can be immune to negative energies. I like to use the word imperturbable. I like to use the word imperturbable because it means they're there, but they don't affect you. Or you can be neutral to them. Immune is a little bit like, still a little bit defensive. I don't know. It's just me, though. But yes, you can. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Shantae. I prevent myself from being fully happy. I'm not saying we all do. Then why aren't you, Maya? Why aren't you fully happy no matter what? Okay. There's this layer of, then why aren't I? It's what I want. Why aren't I? So there's got to be something in you that's preventing it. Because you guys, you're all spiritual beings. You're on this energy path. You know how vibration and frequency works. You know that you could be a homeless man and be living in a frequency of joy and acceptance. You can be Viktor Frankl and be, I hope I'm saying the name right. You can be in a Nazi prison camp and just be loving everyone around you. Okay. I'm not saying we want to do that. I don't want to be homeless. Okay. I love my home. I'm saying, but I'm mentioning these extreme possibilities because then for those of us who we have so much. So still, why aren't we, quote, happy and we're aware, we're conscious. So there's got to be something that's afraid of it, that feels you don't deserve it, that feels like you're just going to be too weird and people will, not accept you. So yeah, adjusting my reality now to see just how happy I can be. And again, the resistance is interesting. Yeah, there's a resistance there. Because if we want to be joyful and happy, and there was no resistance, we would be. So, okay, makes sense. I'll allow it, but it feels like there's a threshold where if my happiness gets too close to it or looks like I might exceed it, I feel myself clamping it down. Isn't that interesting? There you go. I still believe that outside conditions dictate the way I feel. That's not true, but it is true. It's so funny because you want to get to the point where you are affecting outside conditions. Crazy stuff. Okay, let's do a little more clearing. Let me I'm going to delete any social reasons, causes, or sources, and that could be from your parents, from religion, from school, work environment. Oh, I need to write work environment down. I've forgotten that, but work is very social. And since I don't work, I forget about that. I mean, I don't work outside the home. So influences from your work environment, from school, from parents, okay, from religion. You're just this, and I respect everyone's beliefs, but I was raised Catholic. You're just a lowly sinner. You better go to confession once a week and unburden your sins, or you're going to hell and you're going to burn forever in eternity. Good Lord. Talk about feeling like you need protection. And I'm deleting the effects of conflicting messages, okay, from religion, especially, and this is just my experience, but the conflicting message of God is this benevolent father. No, he's vengeful and you're going to burn in hell if you don't follow his rules. Well, which is it? You can't be both. How can God have a split personality? I used to be very confused. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Melina. Yes. Resistance to others to our joy. I will go into my part-time job happy and laughing. The responses are, what is wrong with you? Or somebody got, yeah, yeah, somebody got some last night. I can feel it. I can hear it. Um, I remember, I've shared this story before, but um, when I was working, I was managing Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries, and one of the girls who worked with me, she was a very strong, like Bible thumping, hell brimfire Christian, and she comes to me one day and she's like, Becky, I was in church, and because I would laugh a lot, like I would laugh like really loud. I'm a loud laugher, belly laugher. And she's like, I was in church. She's like, I'm not going to hang around with you anymore. Like, I'm going to limit my interaction with you. I'm like, why? And she goes, because I was in church, and all of a sudden I just laughed this big, loud laugh, like this belly laugh, and everyone looked at me, and my dad yelled at me because you shouldn't be laughing in church. I'm like, girl, you need to find a new church, right? So even laughter and joy in some people's reality, it's not even accepted in church, where you're, in my opinion, church should be joyful celebration, right? So anyway, it is crazy. You're right. But keep at it, girl. Okay, keep at it. Keep uplifting the world. I love the movie Prancer. Okay, I'm looking for it. It's you can because we all have all those sappy Christmas movies are coming up. And in Prancer, I don't know if you've seen it. It's with Sam Elliott. It's old, but there's this little girl. I just love her. And in the beginning, she's singing, and she's all off key and loud, and everyone's looking at her. And she's just like singing. She's just like, I'm gonna sing, and I don't care if everybody hates my voice. I'm just gonna do it. So be that way with your voice. So watch Prancer. It's a great movie. She is an inspiration, the little character. Everyone thinks she's crazy, and she saves Prancer, Santa's Prancer. And of course, it has the poor, dad's a poor farmer, and, it's got all the typical stuff, but just her resilience, right? I'm going to do what it takes. And just watch it. She's an inspiration. So anyway, say hi, those of you who just joined. So anyway, all right, so I've done all the social stuff, all that social patterns, I should say. Let me tune in. I'm going to do one more category, and I'm going to just do your physical environment. So I'm going to delete anything in your physical environment that causes you to feel unsafe. Okay, it could be your home, it could be your work physical environment, your car, it could be your community. Maybe you don't live in a safe community. Deleting that. So just deleting all the effects from your environment all the way down to 0. Jessica, that is so funny, and I just had this fun thought. Wouldn't it be fun if you could play it and we could have a watch party? And we could all watch Prancer together. If anybody wants to do that, let me know. See, we don't have to go to Jessica's house. Well, we could go to Jessica's house, but we could do a watch party. Old school VHS, right? So you could, all right, and my husband watches Pac-12 basketball and basketball for the University of Arizona. And our TV programming doesn't have Pac-10, so there's this guy who films it and then live streams it. He films it on his TV, with his phone, and then live streams it on television. So yeah, it's a great movie. Okay. Um, okay, Kay, I'm not understanding what you're asking. What can I do with all the experiences I've had with having undiagnosed woman on the Asperger spectrum? It's for sure not the same as the stereotypical guy's experience. I don't understand. I don't understand what you're asking. If I were you, okay, I would just start deleting the programming of, I have Asperger's. What does that mean? That kind of thing. And just, if other people, just say I'm deleting other people's, I would say something like, I would delete other people's opinions and expectations of me, and I'm strengthening me to live expressing my own divine gifts. Okay. Um, yeah, I've never heard of Temple Grandin, so thank you, Kelly. And all of you can do that too. I'm deleting other people. I'm deleting the effects of other people's opinions of me. I'm deleting the effects of other people's opinions of me, and I'm strengthening me to live and express my divine gifts. Even if we've been labeled with something as autistic or as this or as that, you still are a divine being. You're still a sovereign being. You still have gifts to share. You just chose a harder journey, right? Um, I know, right, Jessica? We can even get old school popcorn with the old school popcorn maker. Anyway, I'm all into this. Maybe I can rent it on. I don't have the best internet connection though, but I'm sure it's on Netflix. It's got to be on Netflix. Maybe somebody with a great internet connection can just, in a Netflix account, can download it. It is a different journey. Okay. All right. So I'm feeling all high and buzzy. I hope everybody, as vibration has lifted, I hope everybody feels safer and feels more sovereign. Okay. I'm going to now, I'm watching the time. I only want to do these for 20 minutes and I start talking so much, they last an hour. Um, the yellow dragon, the Arcturian yellow dragon. Okay. Um, Oh, wow. Yeah, I've heard of her. I'm gonna have to watch that. I'm writing it down. I might have to get Netflix. Temple Grandin. I've heard about the woman who changed the cattle industry. And there's been so much. I have horses, and there's so much beautiful work done with autistic children and horses. I'm gonna start crying. Wow. Anyway, sounds amazing. Um, Kelly, you do foster kids? That's awesome. Okay. Let's get back on track. Sorry. People, I used to get so annoyed with people who did this, healers. It's like, stay on topic, healer. My time is valuable, so I'm back on topic. Um, so now we're going to channel the Arcturian yellow dragon for protection. Now, she's not going to, I really feel this is a female energy. Usually the dragons are androgynous, like male, female, doesn't matter. I always experience her is female, fierce Wonder Woman type energy. Okay. So just for now, there's a lot more layers to working with this energy, and we're really diving into it in my Turian Light class. We just feel the frequency as you receive it. Okay, so I'm just going to be quiet. And if you can, close your eyes and just receive. See, my voice is changing even now that these frequencies are running. Okay, and usually for me, these um, happen pretty quickly. Just receiving the yellow dragon energy. um, so I just want to, if anybody has anything they want to share or ask, um, but be in this frequency as long as you can. You know that it's intelligent, light, healing energy, and it will respond to you. Okay. And so if you have any questions or any observations, anything else comes up, go ahead and you can type it in the chat and ask me. Make sure you tag me. So I'm gonna go ahead and um, Melina, breathing fire. Yeah, that's awesome. Um, so I'm gonna go ahead and oh, good, Shantae. I love her too. I love this yellow dragon. I love her. Anyway, thank you for listening. Continue to just enjoy the frequencies. I'll be live tomorrow on my page. If you're probably in my group, but if you're on my page, please share the live stream. Let other people know what we're doing for the next 10 days. And I'll see everyone later. Have a fabulous Friday. Bye.